Have you ever wondered what your cat really does while you're asleep, when you can't see them? You probably think they just curl up and rest beside you. Quiet, peaceful, harmless. But here's the truth. It was never that simple. The moment you fall asleep, your cat becomes something else entirely. More alert, more instinct-driven. Almost like they've been waiting for that moment all day. And what they do next might completely change how you see your bond with them. Let's start with something that feels small, but actually isn't. You've probably felt it before. A soft paw on your face, a gentle tap on your cheek, maybe even on your lips or nose. You wake up confused, thinking your cat is being cute or just asking for food. But here's what's really happening. Your cat is checking if you're alive. That sounds dramatic, but it's real. Cats are extremely sensitive to breathing patterns. When you fall asleep, your breathing slows down. It becomes deeper, quieter, and to your cat, that shift is impossible to ignore. So they reach out, gently, carefully, just to confirm. You're still there, still breathing, still safe. This isn't random, it's ancient instinct. In the wild, cats survive by constantly monitoring their environment and the creatures within it. If something changes, they react immediately. So, when your cat touches your face at night, they're running that same survival code on you. And here's the part most people completely miss. They wouldn't do this for just anyone. This behavior only shows up when your cat sees you as part of their inner circle. Someone worth checking on, someone worth protecting. And what they do after this check, we'll get into that later, because it's something almost no one ever notices. Now, let's talk about something that probably drives you crazy. It's 3 a.m., dead silence. And then, suddenly, chaos. Your cat explodes across the room, running, jumping, crashing into things like they've completely lost their mind. It feels random, maybe even a little unhinged, but it's not random at all. Your cat is on patrol. Cats are naturally wired to be most active during dawn and dusk. That's when prey is most vulnerable, but also when danger is highest. So their brain switches into alert mode. And even if your cat has never hunted a single thing in their life, that instinct is still there. Strong, unchanged. So when they sprint through your house at night, they're not just burning energy. They're checking every corner, every sound, every shadow. They're making sure the territory is secure. And yes, that territory includes you. If you're starting to see your cat a little differently right now, you're not alone. Most people completely misunderstand these behaviors. And if you actually want to understand what your cat is really thinking, make sure you stick around, because the most important one is coming up. Now here's something softer, something that looks innocent, that kneading motion. When your cat presses their paws into your blanket over and over again, like they're making bread, most people think it's just comfort, a leftover habit from when they were kittens, but there's something deeper happening here. Every time your cat presses their paws down, they're releasing scent, tiny, invisible signals from glands in their paw pads. So when they knead your blanket, your pillow, or right next to your body, they're marking it, not in an aggressive way, not like territory you need to defend, but in a bonding way. They're saying, this is ours. This space, this bed, this moment belongs to both of you. It's one of the clearest signs your cat sees you as part of their world. Not just someone who feeds them, but someone they're connected to. And if your cat does this every night, comment yes below, or drop a if you've ever caught them doing it. I'm curious how many of you see this daily. Now let's talk about something that feels unsettling. You wake up in the middle of the night and your cat is just staring, not at you, not at anything you can see, just staring into a dark corner of the room, frozen, focused, completely locked in. It's enough to make anyone feel uneasy. But here's the truth. Your cat isn't seeing nothing. They're seeing everything you can't. Their vision works in extremely low light, way beyond what human eyes can handle. But it's not just about sight. Their hearing is on another level. Tiny movements, subtle vibrations, sounds behind walls, inside ceilings, things that don't even exist in your awareness. To your cat, that empty corner isn't empty at all. It's full of information. So when they sit there, completely still, ears twitching slightly, eyes locked in, they're processing a world that's completely invisible to you. And in their mind, they're protecting the space. Still here? Good, because what comes next is one of the most personal things your cat can do. Have you ever woken up and your hair feels off? A little messy, slightly damp, tangled in a weird way. You probably blamed your pillow, but there's a good chance it wasn't your pillow at all. It was your cat, licking, nibbling, grooming your hair while you were asleep. It sounds strange, maybe even a little uncomfortable, but in cat language, this is huge. Cats only groom those they truly trust. It's called allogrooming, and it's reserved for family, for bonded companions, for those they feel completely safe with. So when your cat grooms you, especially when you're unconscious, they're not confused. They're including you. They're treating you like one of their own, mixing their scent with yours, strengthening the bond, without needing you to even notice. And that's the thing about cats. Their deepest affection doesn't always happen when you're looking. It happens in silence, in the dark, when there's nothing to gain. Now remember earlier, when we talked about your cat checking if you're alive, that wasn't the full story, because after they confirm you're safe, something else happens. Something so subtle, you'll probably never catch it. Your cat looks at you while you sleep, and they slow blink, a quiet, deliberate closing of their eyes. In cat language, this means one thing: I trust you completely. It's one of the most vulnerable signals a cat can give, because closing their eyes means letting their guard down, and they do it when you're not even awake to see it. Not for attention, not for food, not for a reaction, just because they feel it. So the next time you think your cat is just sleeping beside you, doing nothing, remember this: they're watching, protecting, checking on you, bonding with you in ways you don't even realize. And if you ignore these signs, you might be missing the most honest form of love your cat knows how to give. Because with cats, the real connection doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in the dark. And here's where it gets even deeper. Because everything we just talked about, that's only what happens on the surface. What your cat feels about you, that's hidden in the patterns, the small repetitions, the things they do over and over again without you ever questioning why. Like this: have you ever noticed your cat choosing where to sleep? Very carefully. It's never random. Some nights they curl up near your feet, other nights right next to your chest, and sometimes they position themselves near your head. Most people think it's just comfort, but it's not. Your cat is choosing positions based on vulnerability and protection. When they sleep near your feet, they're guarding the exit. When they sleep on your chest, they're syncing with your heartbeat. And when they sleep near your head, they're protecting your most vital area. This is instinct layered with trust. Because in the wild, sleeping is the most dangerous thing a cat can do. It means lowering defenses, becoming vulnerable, exposed. So when your cat chooses to sleep that close to you, night after night, they're making a decision that says, I trust you enough to be vulnerable here. And if your cat always sleeps in the same spot, type 1 in the comments. I want to see how many of you have noticed this pattern. Now let's talk about something even more subtle, something almost invisible. Your cat listens to you while you sleep. Not just your breathing, not just your movements, your sounds, tiny shifts in your voice, little murmurs, even the way your body moves under the blanket. To you, it's unconscious. To them, it's data. Cats are constantly gathering information, even in rest, even in stillness. Their brain never fully shuts off. So when you move suddenly in your sleep, or make a sound, they react instantly. Sometimes they lift their head, sometimes their ears twitch, sometimes they reposition themselves closer to you. Why? Because they're monitoring your state. They're making sure nothing is wrong. And here's something most people never realize. If your cat suddenly becomes more attentive at night, more alert, more physically close. It might not be random. Some studies and real-life cases have shown cats reacting to subtle changes in their owner's body, even before the owner notices anything themselves. Changes in breathing, temperature, even chemical shifts. That means sometimes your cat isn't just bonding with you, they're watching over you. And if you've ever felt like your cat knew something before you did, comment yes, because you're not imagining it. Now here's something that feels small, but carries a lot of meaning. That moment when your cat quietly leaves the bed in the middle of the night. No noise, no drama, just gone. Most people don't even notice it happening. But there's a reason. Your cat is doing a perimeter check. They don't stay in one place all night. That's not how they're wired. Even in a safe home, their instincts tell them to move, to scan, to reassess the environment. So they get up, walk through the house, pause at doorways, listen, observe, and then they come back to you. That return is important because it shows choice. Out of the entire space they just checked, they chose to come back to your side. Again and again, every single night. That's not dependency. That's connection. Now let's talk about something emotional. Something most people underestimate. Your cat feels safer when you're asleep. That might sound backwards. You'd think they'd feel safer when you're awake, moving, aware. But it's the opposite. When you're asleep, you're calm, predictable. Still, no sudden movements, no loud sounds, no unexpected behavior. To your cat, this is the most peaceful version of you, so they relax more deeply. They stretch out. They get closer, sometimes closer than they ever would during the day. Because in that moment, you're not just their human, you're their safe place. And this is where the bond becomes something else entirely. Not just companionship, not just routine, but trust at its purest level. And here's the part that hits hardest. Your cat doesn't need you to see any of this. They don't do it for attention. They don't do it for praise. They don't do it for reward. They do it because that's how they feel. Quietly, consistently, every single night. So the next time you wake up and see your cat beside you, don't just assume they were sleeping, because chances are they were watching over you, protecting you, checking on you, choosing you, over and over again, in the dark. And if you've made it this far, there's one thing you need to understand. If your cat sleeps with you, stays near you, touches you while you sleep, that's not normal behavior for every cat. That's a sign that you've earned something most people never fully understand, their trust. And once a cat gives you that, it's not something they give lightly. And it's definitely not something you should ever ignore. Because in their silent world, this is what love looks like.